Hey, what's up guys, it's Vihan here. So if you're anything like me, you've probably spent hours trying to master new skills from time to time, or even learn something new. It might even be that you find yourself getting completely lost whenever you come across an unfamiliar concept. Well, there's actually a method that can help you learn and understand things better. But for that, I have to introduce you to physicist Richard Feynman. Richard Feynman was a Nobel Prize winner who was a pioneer in quantum electrodynamics. In the world of science, he stands unequivocally for his ability to synthesize and explain complex scientific knowledge. He was even known as the Great Explainer. Despite all of his accomplishments, Feynman thought of himself as an ordinary person who studied hard and believed that anyone with enough effort was capable of learning even complex subjects like quantum mechanics and electromagnetic fields. What made Richard Feynman great wasn't innate intelligence, but the systematic way in which he identified the things that he didn't know, and then threw himself into understanding them inside out. His learning process became known as the Feynman Technique, which is a mental model that can be used to convey information using concise thoughts and simple language. It's something that's improved my own learning skills and enhanced my understanding of concepts quite a bit. The Feynman Technique is a 4-step process that goes like this. Step 1. Choose a concept you want to learn about. You can pretty much choose any concept or idea. Even though the technique is named after Feynman, it's not limited to just science or math. So let's just say I wanted to gain a greater understanding of how to build muscle, for instance. One of the concepts I would learn is how protein intake helps with muscle growth, and the correlation between exercise and building muscle. Step 2. Try teaching the concept to a friend. Now, if you're like me and you have no friends, you can explain it in your own words as if you were teaching it to someone else. Try to use simple language that's easily understandable even for a child. When we speak without jargon, it frees us from hiding behind knowledge that we don't have. Big words and fluffy business speak cripples us from getting to the point and passing knowledge to others. So using the muscle growth example, I wouldn't use words like anabolism or protein synthesis. Instead, I would talk about how proteins help repair muscle damage and cause them to become stronger and grow. Step 3. Identify gaps in your own understanding and explanation. This is the point where the real learning happens. What are you missing? What don't you know? Do you really know what role amino acids play in building muscle, or whether supplements are truly necessary? You then have to go back to your source material and gather the information that can help fill in those gaps. Finally, review and challenge yourself to simplify the concept even more until all of it seems very obvious to you. The key here is to approach this as if you were required to break down the concept and explain it to someone who doesn't have the base understanding that you have. You'll notice that by simply explaining a concept, you can improve your understanding of it. Not only is the Feynman Technique the perfect recipe for learning, but it's also a window into a different way of thinking that allows you to tear ideas apart and reconstruct them from the ground up. The Feynman Technique doesn't let us fool ourselves into thinking that we are masters of a subject when we're really amateurs. Each step of the process forces us to confront what we don't know and then engage directly with the material and clarify our understanding. By using this technique, you kind of force yourself to switch from a passive learning position into an active teaching one, which requires a greater understanding of concepts. The reason this works so well is because learning is an iterative process that requires you to go back to the source material in order to refine areas where your understanding is not as strong. By constantly updating your understanding, you will be able to explain it in your own language and even spot logical inconsistencies. So I hope that you can use the Feynman Technique to change the way that you learn new things, and hopefully you'll be able to save yourself some time and frustration along the way. I'll leave you with a quote from Richard Feynman to show how anything can be learned with just the right approach. I was born not knowing and have had only a little time to change that here and there. Thanks so much for watching. Drop a like on this video to support the channel, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss more tips and techniques like this every single week. My name is Vihan. See you next time.